Okay, let's go.
So hold on a bit. When you are inside, and it sees that.
You can see them. You can see. One of your videos, just one of those. Yes. Yes.
And it takes passion, it takes interest.
Also, is it acceptable by law? Okay, let's just talk about, first of all, how side hustle can affect employees' delivery of their job. Like I said in the beginning, it's going to be truly tasking. I mean, everybody wants that extra funds. We all want more money. We know what the economy is about. And sometimes when you look at your salary, you think, I need to start a side hustle. I need extra income. Everyone is looking for multiple streams of income. But the question is, can you truly deliver in your salary job and still maintain a side hustle?
Michelle, let me tell you this. We, as human beings, we have 24 hours. You have 24 hours, I have. If you have more, you can give me some. Because mine is not active. Now, all you need to do is this. Your salary job is probably taking some 12 hours, some 14 hours out of you. And when you remove 14 hours from 24, you still have some solid 10 hours left. What do you do with that? So your salary job is already tasking, very tasking. However, the passion, the thought of the future, the thought of something to come back to somewhere along the line is, is enough motivation to move you to want to dedicate that time needed. Yes, it's your side hustle. You are running it at your own pace. You're doing it at your own pace. All I'm just asking is create that time for it, for you to be able. Do not shoot more than you. Do not take more than you can cope with. You have the time in your hand. You are the one in charge of your side hustle. Unlike your salary job, yes, you can, because it's not a rival. Your side hustle is not a rival to your current job. So let's get that straight away. In fact, those things I said we're going to be mentioning is the fact that make sure that your side hustle is not in the line of the business of your current employment.
Right.
Because there's some elements of integrity even inside hustling. So yes, there's an element of integrity there, and you make sure that you do not also use your employer's time for your side hustle. That was I was giving you that table, or you have 12 hours maximum, 12 hours. 14 hours.
Well, we see this play out a lot in the civil service. Yeah. Lots of people in the civil service use their job as a side hustle. Their job is the main job, but in that job, they created a small side hustle, a small office where they collect money. So I know you're acting surprised. Something everywhere in the civil space. Sure. So that's I'm giving you an example of how someone out there might view this. That's not side. Okay.
That's not side hustling. That is something. That's something unethical. That's not side hustling is genuine. I'm very legit. I started it as far back as 1994, and those the businesses you see running very well today, especially in the SME space, that is the small and medium scale enterprises scale.
Right.
Actually started off as side hustles some years back. Gramping registered business is not something you create another office in your office. No, it's not so done. You've got to probably create a home office, and it grows. Before you know it, you are getting even an office for your side hustle. Let us even talk about what are these side hustles, because before you think that is a big thing, you are thinking, no. I mentioned the issue of passion earlier. I mentioned the issue of something you can do, you can do well, and you can begin to do to fetch you some extra money. But where it starts from is like something you know how to do very well. Have you ever thought of, I mean, what do you call it? Fashion designing? Have you ever thought of dry cleaning? Have you ever thought of somebody making you up? You'll be surprised that in this office there could be some people doing some side hustling in terms of makeup artists.
Right.
Have you ever thought of events management that you could do outside your official? So there are it's not. We are not looking at rocket science here. So yeah,
there is something about side hustle and having a full-time job that sometimes people tend to hide. As much as we want to put it out there and have people know that, oh, this is my small business, come on, patronize me. Sometimes people tend to hide it from their employees because they feel, oh, you're going to be stealing so much of the company's time to grow your business. You won't be as focused as you should be. So the question is, should you tell your employer about your side hustle?
One basic thing about side hustling is also networking. Sincerely, if your friends around you in the office are not the first people to know of your side hustling, I wonder who you are then selling to. I wonder what time you now have to go out of to go out from the people you spend 12 hours a day with. That is the place you can get the largest chunk of hours together. So believe me, your colleagues should know, because you know that you are doing something legitimate. You're not stealing your employer's time. You're not using your employer's resources. You're not using those white papers of your employers to do your own private business. I spoke about integrity. Yes, it should be ethical, and it's something you are proud of. In fact, you become an envy. I mean, what do you call it? Somebody to be envied by your colleagues in the office. So as long as you do it like this, they should be the first people. They should be your first contact people. They should be your first market. And don't forget, part of side hustling is selling. Is a key skill that you've got to know how to do in side hustling. Yes, there's nothing wrong if your employer, if the employers. In fact, do you know the art of side hustling, which you may want to call entrepreneurship? You first begin to make use of that skill as an employee. You begin to demonstrate the ownership mindset in the way you do your current job. And then you can take it further to succeed in your own thing.
Right. This is very interesting today. You're listening to Lagos Talks 91.3, and the topic today is being employed and having a side hustle. If you'd like to join the conversation, do so on the phone lines 0809 1913 913. 0809-222-0913 or 0809-234-5913. This is the office. Another question: is it really legal for an employee to be fired because of his side hustle?
Well, I don't have any case in mind. I'm sure in subsequent editions, my lawyer colleagues will be here. Okay. However, no, it is not. I'm going to rephrase that. If you are doing something legitimate, how come you are going to be fired? However, if you choose to take your side hustle above your current employment, I'm also an employer. I am not going to tolerate that. You cannot. Therefore, I'm going to counsel that you probably want to be a gig worker.
A gig worker.
A gig worker.
Hold that thought. Let's take this talk because I want to learn what a gig worker is. Lagos Talks. Good evening.
Hello, Lagos Talks.
It is. You're welcome to the office. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay. This is calling from Italy.
All right, Deji, go ahead.
Okay. Before I dive in, let's segment. And I'm sure it's believed that most employers in Nigeria have people that are employed. Most of them don't like that job. Is it established?
What's your
Hello?
Okay.
So I think that most people that are employed, they don't like doing their job. They're just doing it because of that by purpose. Now, it's that also should be the opportunity to pursue your passion and then to monetize it.
Thank you. That's a very good contribution. Some people don't really like their everyday job. So it's an opportunity for you to nurture something you're actually passionate about, something you actually truly love. But like he said, it's not a reason to override your salary job because of your side
You
hustle.
know,
So what's a gig?
gig, G-I-G.
Mhm.
A gig worker is a guy who, like he rightly said, that
Mhm.
some don't like their job. When you are tired of your salary job, you want to go out there and do your thing.
Right.
Full time.
Right.
You may want to say your own employer.
Mhm.
You want to do your things the way you want to do, but it is still hard work. You've got to put in the work. It's not as easy as it sounds. You've got to put in the work. But if you know what you're doing, you just continue.
Please turn on the volume on your radio. Welcome. This is the office. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good evening. My name is Margaret. I'm calling from Ablegba.
All right, Margaret.
So, I've been listening to your conversation, and I have this question to ask. Having said that, first also is part of what we should be doing now. So I want to confirm: is it ethical for an employee to run his own business at the same time rendering service to the organization, considering that for someone who is, for instance, for someone working Monday to Sunday, how are you going to cope with this? Will it be ethical for you to do the same thing, your side also, and at the same time do office work? So I just want to get more light into this.
All right, Margaret.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, sir.
To start with, a Monday to Sunday work is not fair enough. It's not fair enough. When do you have to rest? That's to start with. Number two, I was trying to construct a table. Is a table that is original to me. In fact, it's reflected in my book, Growing People, on page 69, that account for your 24 hours. And I've said it almost 3 times today, that look, your employer takes 12 hours max, 14 hours from you. The remaining 10 hours is what you use in preparing and launching your side hustle. Do you know that some people now they become employers via their side hustles? They do what they have to do in the night. They spend sleepless nights preparing, and they have staff running it on their behalf. The guy responsible for dry cleaning and so on and so forth, that I know, my dry cleaning, he works somewhere else, and he has people who does, some people who do, at least he has someone who does the laundry for him. So it is pretty, and I'm saying this, that let us be futuristic about this. Let us be futuristic. Let's look into the future. Yes, you have an employment. There is no longer life employment anywhere. The economy, the changes around us are so rapid that you should begin to think of it is legitimate. But I have also said, do not spend your employer's hours, your employer's resources in doing your side hustling. However, it is possible. It is very possible.
Well, that's good to see. So how should employers manage side hustles that conflict with organizations' business interests? How do you manage it? It can be tricky sometimes.
I want to advise employees, don't get involved in those side hustles that conflict with your employer's interest. Is a battle you cannot win. How do we say this, and what do we say? We said that the sky is big enough for the birds to fly therein.
Right.
Therefore, if you want to do a side hustle, why are you doing it exactly in the line of your employer's
Current
business?
job.
Let me give you a personal instance. As you know, a quick one. As far back as 1994, I knew that I was going to go into some side hustle in the area of learning and development. And after that, I have worked for employers, and my firm never come near. My firm never got a dime business from the places I work for, because there were people running that firm while I was busy doing salary job. And back in those days, when they want to invite me to their faculty, they write to me, and I show that to my employers that I'm going to, for this speaking engagement. That is the way it should be done.
Do you,
It should be
you
done
also
with
receive
integrity.
support? Did you also receive some support from your employers? At
Oh, of course, because they were seeing it as part of my grooming.
Right.
Because I'm an HR practitioner, I don't know how to do anything else but HR.
Right.
So it's part. They saw it as part of my grooming, being invited by this firm that happens to be. It happened to be at the beginning my former employer, because you have to be full disclosure. Full disclosure is very important as we go along, because in CIPM we preach integrity by doing our core values, service, and so on and so forth. Script, that's the acronym.
All right.
We preach integrity. So, and we need to talk about that. That just be what do you call it? Be upfront with whatever you are doing. And
you've heard it all.
Should
You've
be
been
okay.
listening to Mr. Olusegun Mojeed. He is the president and chairman of the governing council of CIPM. And today we discussed a very interesting topic, being employed and having a side hustle. We're in Nigeria, we're in Lagos, Nigeria, a highly entrepreneurial city. Lots of people having different side hustles, and some people are having their daytime jobs and running logistics companies, moving goods across Lagos, moving goods across the country and earning that side money. At some point, the side hustle might actually pay more than your salary job. But the key is to always have integrity and do not compete with your current job. Thank you so much for coming in today, sir. And like I said, this is the new beginning for greater things to come. Every Thursday from 4:30 to 5 p.m., we have The Office, where we discuss everything concerning you and your career. Thank you so much for coming in.
thank you, Michelle, for having us.
Always a pleasure.
We appreciate this.
Coming up next is Critical Thinking with Zio. Stay with us.